Eating with him, like, what are you doing? Why? Please stop.
Hear her traumatic experience and what she believes prompted the attack.
We're on scene of a deadly shooting in Durham. You can see the large police presence here. Coming up, we'll show you the unusual way police learned about this victim.
We're finally thawing out. I'll show you the newest timeline for the Arctic air to move out and warmer temperatures.
New today, hear from the woman who barely escaped with her life. She describes her terrifying experience when police say her ex-husband shot a Raleigh police officer. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Deborah Morgan.
And I'm Dan Haggerty. Authorities say 70-year-old Antonio Rodriguez shot Raleigh police officer Max Gillick. Rodriguez was killed when police shot back. WRAL Sean Gallagher joining us live tonight. Sean, you spoke with the woman, the ex-wife, who saw Rodriguez fire those shots.
Yeah, that's right, Dan and Deb. And Jill Rohner, she's not ready to show her face yet, but she wants to share her story of exactly what happened in this house here behind me on Tuesday night. It's a memory that will be seared in her mind forever, seeing the love of her life gunned down by an ex who should never have been able to do this. It's the start of mending a house shattered by tragedy, but it will never again be home for Jill Rohner.
I don't know that I could go back and sleep in that house.
And honestly, no one would blame her for what she experienced inside this home Tuesday night when her ex-husband, Antonio Rodriguez, shattered her back door carrying a shotgun.
Broke it down and just came in and shot John.
Jill says it took her 67 years to find the love of her life, Dr. John Rowe. The two were dating for the last 2 years with plans to move in together. But this was her last night with him.
John fell to the floor, and I was on the phone with 911. I was screaming bloody murder for them to please hurry, 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 hurry.
Rodriguez cornered Rohner in the garage.
I thought I was going to be dead, but he could have killed me. He opted not to. We were face to face, and I was pleading with him, like, what are you doing?
Jill tells us she was able to run back through her house and out the front door, but not before seeing her love one more time.
I wanted everything in my power to just try and drag him with me out of there.
Move this guy out of here.
Through the bitter cold and snowy night, she ran barefoot across the street to her neighbor's house as police flooded her home. An officer was critically injured in the shooting, and her ex, the man set on ruining her life, can no longer do so.
There's only one good thing that has come out of this week, and that he is dead. And I am not sad about that. That is not what this emotion is about at all. I'm glad he's dead.
Now, Rohner tells me she's not blaming anyone specifically for all of this happening, but rather the system as a whole. She hopes that something can be done to help protect victims of domestic violence so that people like her or the families of John Rowe or even the families of Officer Max Gillick don't have to go through something this painful. In Raleigh, Sean Gallagher, WRAL News.
Wow, what an experience. Thank you, Sean. Today at the Raleigh Police Department promotion ceremony, Chief Estella Patterson took some time to talk about Officer Max Gillick. She says Officer Gillick was hit while protecting a victim in the shooting. She shared this message for the officer.
Our collective prayers are making a difference. And Max, if you can hear us from your room, we are praying for you, and we are praying for a speedy and a full recovery. Keep fighting and stay RPD strong. We love you and we got you.
Officer Gillick remains in critical condition. Chief Patterson says the 5-day report on the deadly incident should be released early next week. 32 members of the department received promotions today.
We are following some breaking news. One person is dead after a shooting at a food truck.
Police have not made any arrests yet, at least not that they've told us, and this is where it all happened. WRAL's Monica Casey is joining us live now near Highway 55. Monica?
Well, Deborah, there are 5 food trucks parked on this property. The investigation centers on this one behind me. There are evidence markers on the ground between that food truck and picnic tables in front of it. Part of a large crime scene here, more than 5 hours after police found this victim. All of this started when police responded to a situation about 8 miles away. They got a call for an unknown problem around 12:30 this afternoon. When they arrived to Garrett Road. A person at that location told them this shooting victim was here. Broadcastify radio traffic gives us a window into what police found when they arrived on this scene.
Gunshot wounds to the chest and the head, unalert, unconscious, and CPR is in progress. When you get here, we'll be inside the food truck closest to the road, closest to Highway 55.
The address for this building lists it as Taco Ardiente. Their last post on social media was back in November. Police tell us this is believed to be an isolated incident. DPD has had their mobile command unit here on this scene for hours. We also just saw forensics arrive here on scene. This man is the 10th person shot in Durham so far this year. It is the third fatal shooting of 2025. Live in Durham, Monica Casey, WRAL News.
Thank you to Monica. Standing here now with meteorologist Mike Mays. It's been a chilly couple of weeks, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. Man, I'm ready for it to be over.
It felt noticeably warmer,
Yes.
I think, today, and that's just going to grow as the days go on.
And we've noticed our snow is leaving us. There's just a little bit left in the gardens. You may have noticed in your neighborhood as well, the snowpack has shrunk. We got up into the mid-40s today here in the Triangle, and really not too cold of an evening, at least out at RDU, 44, 38 at Southern Pines, 32 at Roxborough, and it will be cold again tonight, but we're going to call this our final deep freeze for the next several days. 19 at Roxborough, 22 in Raleigh, 19 at Rocky Mount, 22 in Fayetteville. So if you have any remaining slush, yeah, it'll refreeze tonight, but then after that, we should see deeper melting. It's a warming weekend, 48 for the high tomorrow at least. Some locations could hit 50, 22 the low in the morning. That southwest wind combined with sunshine will do wonders to warm us up. Even warmer on Sunday, 29 the low, 54 later in the afternoon with partly cloudy skies. Now, there is greater warming coming up. Coming up in less than 15 minutes, we're going to talk about our January thaw, and it's only going to be brief, but I think you'll like it. We'll have that coming up.
Thanks, Mike. This is Brian Schrader in the WRAL Live Center with a traffic alert on the north side of Raleigh. We have an overturned vehicle reported on 540 right around Honeycutt Road, and we are seeing some big delays in both directions. On that westbound side between Capitol Boulevard out toward Falls of Neuse Road, that's when the slowdowns begin. And on the eastbound side, those backups begin around Leesville Road. So if you're listening to us right now on Mix 101.5, just want to keep that in mind. Also, just getting reports of a crash at Creedmoor Road at 540 that could contribute to some of those backups.
President Trump is considering getting rid of FEMA. While visiting Western North Carolina today, he criticized the department's work in the area and said he may want it abolished. WRAL's Ashley Rowe has been following the president's visit. Ashley, the president was clear about how he feels FEMA has handled the damage Helene left behind.
Oh, he did not mince words. You know, it was a quick visit to hard-hit places like Asheville and Swannanoa. Here he is arriving, but his trip packed quite a headline. President Trump called FEMA an expensive organization that doesn't work very well. And he said if it was up to him, he'd end FEMA and let the state and local relief organizations take care of natural disaster relief and recovery. FEMA has committed hundreds of millions of dollars to more than 100,000 people and households in the North Carolina mountains in the aftermath of Helene. However, here is what President Trump is proposing.
We want to bring it locally so that a state takes care of its problem, and then they can bring it down to a local level, like Samaritan's Purse and Franklin, because that's one of the better examples.
During his visit, the president met with a few survivors of Helene and heard their stories about the challenges they've faced. He also met with local organizations that helped in the immediate aftermath of the storm. Governor Josh Stein out with a statement about Trump's visit, saying it's a positive signal that President Trump made his first visit outside the Capitol as president to our mountains. I thanked the president for coming and asked for his support of $20 billion in additional disaster relief and for 100% reimbursement of eligible FEMA expenses for another 6 months. In the immediate aftermath of Helene, former President Biden declared 100% reimbursement for the first 6 months. That runs out at the end of March. We've reached out to FEMA for a response to President Trump's ideas about ending the agency, and we are waiting to hear back. Dan.
All right, Ashley, thank you. More than 180 cases in Wake County were dismissed over concerns about the credibility of two troopers who oversaw those cases. Wake County District Attorney Lauren Freeman said that she was made aware of some concerns about the handling of what you're seeing here. This is the aftermath of a deadly DWI crash that happened in October. Well, after reviewing the body camera and dash camera footage, the DA launched a larger investigation. Now, she wouldn't elaborate as to what she saw exactly in that footage, but as a result, more than 180 cases were dismissed. The majority of those involved driving while impaired.
Now, you may have seen it on our air, a new ad about North Carolina's 2024 state Supreme Court race. Months after the election, the race is still undecided. Democrat Justice Allison Riggs appears to have won, but Republican challenger Jefferson Griffin wants 60,000 ballots thrown out. In the ad, a Republican from Pinehurst says he voted for Griffin, but is now one of the people Griffin challenged.
I voted Republican my whole life. Now politicians are trying to cancel my vote here in North Carolina.
Former Governor Pat McCrory, a Republican, leads the group behind the ad. He's been trying to help restore trust in elections among Republicans. WRAL state government reporter Will Doran says it's unusual for groups to air ads after an election.
And they're hoping that this ad speaks to people across the partisan divide, because right now it has really been kind of broken down along political lines, the reaction to this.
A lawsuit over these ballots heads to federal appeals court Monday for oral arguments. Go to WRAL.com for any updates.
Coming up, too cool for school. How ice left behind from the recent winter weather is still now causing problems at a high school in Wake County. Brian?
Dan, we're still watching those delays on 540 with at least one, maybe two crashes on 540 around Six Forks Road and also at Creedmoor Road. Still seeing some heavy delays in both directions. Want to head over to Durham, take a look at conditions there. A little bit of a slowdown on 885 southbound because of an earlier crash around TW Alexander Drive, but overall traffic's flowing pretty well.
Ahead for us, corporations weighing whether to roll back their diversity and inclusion programs in the Trump era. Plus, with a resentencing hearing drawing closer, we speak to a close relative to the Menendez brothers about their new concerns on Nightly News.
Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
Ice and snow still cause some problems for people in Apex. Apex High School could not open part of its parking lot today for students.
So what do the kids do? Well, instead, dozens of students just parked in a nearby neighborhood, and that caused a lot of headaches for the folks who live there. WRAL's Brett Neese explains why police, though, won't be handing out any tickets.
Car after car lines the street in the Brookfield neighborhood on Friday.
I figured something up at the school.
All of these cars belong to Apex High School students. Sky 5 flew over the parking lot where they would normally park. You can see a large portion of it is closed off because it's still covered in ice. Some students parked in the teacher lot, but once that was full, they decided to park on these streets. Some of them parking right in front of signs that say no parking between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. on school days.
It can get kind of hard to leave the neighborhood.
As long as these cars aren't blocking somebody's driveway or a fire hydrant on this street, Apex PD says they are letting these parking violations slide. Police say that's just a one-time thing. Residents here aren't happy about it, but some are understanding.
It kind of makes it hard to maneuver to back out of your driveway.
The school told its students to allow for extra time when arriving Friday. Part of an email from the principal told families, even after plowing the top deck and driveway down to the lower deck, much of it is still sheets of ice. Those who live in this neighborhood just hope it melts by Monday so things can get back to normal. Brett Neese, WRAL News, Apex.
At least the warm-up is coming. A biotech company in Holly Springs opened its new facility and is starting work on another one. Amgen cut the ribbon on the new advanced manufacturing facility they broke ground on 3 years ago. They also broke ground on another one at the same time. The total investment is more than $1 billion. The company's CEO decided to double its manufacturing capacity because global demand for its drugs is growing very quickly.
In addition to creating economic opportunity at Holly Springs, this plant will further strengthen our ability to provide uninterrupted supply of our medicines to heart disease, cancer, and patients suffering from other serious illnesses.
About 250 people already work at the first Amgen facility. They're expecting to hire more than 400 people in the coming years.
A Wake County school tutoring program will be back up and running very soon. Wake Ed Partnership, they're working with a new nonprofit after the last one stopped. It ended, stopping that program. Cary-based Read and Feed will provide one-on-one reading help for hundreds of students. The program is trying to reverse learning loss from school closures during the COVID-19 pandemic. I've spoken to those people at Feed and Read. It's a great program.
Oh, it's such
they
a
make
great
sure
program.
our kids have full bellies and are reading well. I mean, what's better than that?
That's a win-win.
Yes,
Yeah, that's great. Boy, despite the warm-up today, I was still so cold. Like I still had a chill.
I know. I'm ready for those 60s, Mike.
Next week. Yeah, we're looking forward to that. I'll show you that coming up in a moment. But 45 is the best we did today at RDU after 20 the low. A lot of snow melt today, but a January thaw is coming Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. This is what we're forecasting. Now, I put a little spring background. I know we're not seeing any blooms, but just to give you the idea that it's a hiatus from winter. 35 the low on Tuesday. It's that southwest wind and full sunshine that should propel us up to 60 degrees. And then on Wednesday, forecast low 36, our high 63, and again, a southwest wind and perhaps enough sunshine should get us up to 63. That's the way the atmosphere is set up. But there's an issue that has arisen today on the European model. Now, the European model yesterday was completely dry for Wednesday and not so today for Wednesday, but the American model is. This is what the European is showing. Is this the start of a new trend? This is what we're going to watch. Now, we didn't reflect this in our 7-day forecast. We still currently have it dry, but it is showing a little bit of rain possible for Wednesday. Now, despite that, we still think it'll be a taste of spring. The newest European model run shows some light rain. The American model is dry, bright, and mild, and so we'll keep it 63 with partly cloudy skies. But Anthony and Chris will be watching new model runs over the weekend. They may add some rain to Wednesday. Just be aware of that. But I still think it's going to be a mild day. 44 right now, and the sunset was spectacular about 5 minutes ago. Now it's kind of muted because the sun has really gone farther enough down. 38 at Southern Pines, 36 at South Hill, 32 right now at Goldsboro. If you're heading out to dinner this evening, make sure you have the warm clothes. You're going to need them. 34 at 7 by 9 o'clock, 29. Crystal clear sky by 11 o'clock. We expect about 26. Bottoming out to about 22 in the morning. 18 at Roxborough, 19 at South Hill, 21 at Fayetteville. So if you have still a little bit of slush in your neighborhood, it'll refreeze tonight. Bright and cold start. 7 a.m. we're at 22, 9 a.m. 27. By 11 a.m. we're in the 30s. And then as we head into the afternoon, we expect our temperature to be in the mid and upper 40s. 48 in Raleigh, 49 Fayetteville, 46 in Goldsboro. So we do expect a milder day tomorrow. Now Sunday, in my opinion, is the best day this weekend if you have to wash your car. Yeah, it's still cold. You wouldn't really want to do it in the morning, but in the afternoon, 2, 3, 4 o'clock, we expect low to mid 50s with partly cloudy skies. My car is a mess. I'm sure a lot of yours are the same. And if you need to do any car washing, I would recommend Sunday for that. Or you can wait till next week when we hit 60 on Tuesday, 63 on Wednesday. And as I alluded to last night, there was a possibility we could see temperatures tank Thursday and Friday. Well, it looks like it's going to do that.
All right. Thank you, Mike.
Time for sports. Chris Lee is here.
Yeah, a lot of kids enjoyed some time off this week due to snow, but that doesn't stop us from introducing you to another Extra Effort Award winner. We'll have that. Plus, Hubert Davis explains the difference between winning and losing with this team. What he told reporters today. You want to hear this. That's next in sports. Things may seem a little doom and gloom for the UNC Tar Heels after back-to-back one-point losses to Stanford and Wake Forest. But that's not the vibe that you're going to get from head coach Hubert Davis, who's forever the optimist. Yes, his Heels are 12-8, but 6 of those losses are by single digits, 4 within 1 possession. He says cleaning up minor mistakes can make all the difference.
And my communication with the team has been this. We lost another game by 1. And just look at the little plays on the offensive end, little plays defensively, and say we do things a little bit the way we were supposed to do them, 1 or 2 possessions on both ends, then we're not there.
This week's Tom Suter Extra Effort Award winner is heading north to play football in Delaware. WRAL sports reporter Luis Fernandez introduces us to Enloe High School's Chandler Tailfair.
Look in the sky at Enloe Magnet High School. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's senior Chandler Telfair.
He's got that like Clark Kent, like quiet, wears glasses, always like low key. But then when he gets in the football field, It's a completely different person.
Telfair has spent all 4 years at Enloe playing football, growing into a leader.
And I'm glad I came here. I made a lot of new friends, and coaching staff is great here. As well as the teachers, they're nice, I understand them, and I'm developing great here.
Teachers give rave reviews on his determination.
I love that when he doesn't understand, he always asks questions, and he accepts that there's going to be a healthy amount of failure, right? He's going to try it one time and not get it, and it never discourages him. He always keeps trying.
Giving extra effort runs in the family. His sister Mackenzie won the Extra Effort Award in 2021. He spent years with the Boy Scouts and is now an Eagle Scout.
As well as I'm in a program called Jack and Jill. That's where young African Americans, we come together and do community service projects. I wanted to help the community in the best ways possible.
On top of all that, he's heading to Delaware to play football and pursue his education in the fall.
I was able to develop the mindset just to do the best you can, and I wanted to be the best.
He's someone that did everything right. He's allowed our football program to grow, and our football program is going to be better because Chandler Telfair was here.
And that's why Chandler Telfair is this week's winner of the Tom Suter Extra Effort Award.
So just put him on the long list of athletes from Enloe High School who are great in their sport, but also great leaders in the community. Congratulations to him.
What a great award. I love it every time. Thank you, Chris. Thank you for joining us. We are minutes away from NBC Nightly News. Tonight, the wait is over as the newest pandas make their debut at the Smithsonian National Zoo.
They're so cute. And President Trump wants the Lumbee tribe to get federal recognition. Now, this has received presidential support before, so what's the difference this time? We'll tell you about it tonight at 7 on WRAL.